Hey, it's the podcast guy.
Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast.
And there it is. Sutton United at the GM Vauxhall Conference have put out First Division Coventry City, winners of the FA Cup themselves less than 2 years ago. And what a moment to enjoy for the fans of this Surrey side. They've had their moments before, but never one like this.
But the whistle goes down. Delight for Sutton United. Sutton United, the National League, are through to the last 16 of the FA Cup. No longer English football's perennial non-league club. A 123-year crescendo reaches a new peak for Sutton United, who are promoted to the Football League for the first time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast in association with Lucky Star Gin. If you are a regular listener, thank you very, very much. And if you're a new listener, you are very, very welcome. I'm your host, Mike, and with me today we have Sarah and Rory. I was going to try and pick up some clever thing to say Rory, our Northern Soul, and then I couldn't pick another one for Sarah, so I didn't go with it. But I got the joke in anyway. We have 3 away matches to run through, which obviously means I didn't go to any of them. We love hearing from you. Join the conversation, stay connected, share your thoughts on all our episodes, chat with other fans, and let me know what you'd like to hear on the podcast. You can find us all. You can find us on all social media platforms at Sutton Podcast. And I really do like and really appreciate the likes and shares from all you Sutton fans. Sarah, just before we started recording, you were mentioning that you've had a nice long sleep today after getting home really, really swiftly from Hartlepool.
That's
How are you?
I was trying to recover from a cold as well, so that hasn't helped. But you know what? 3 points is 3 points. Makes you feel better every time.
It does indeed. I mean, I've got the sniffles coming, so man flu ahoy, I'm sure. Rory, slightly shorter journey for you. Were you home in time for tea?
Well, pretty much. I know. I feel a bit of a fraud, really, the past couple of games. To be fair, Halifax and Hartlepool. 4 points.
Yep, absolutely. Right, so there's been, as I've already said, there's been a few missed games. I'm under various different bits of pressure at work and whatnot, so I have to skip and double up and triple up on them. So we will start with Yeovil. Rory, first of all, with you. Going into the Yeovil game, what were your hopes and expectations? How did the match go compared?
I don't think you like that question, Mike. He's gone.
I don't think you like that question either. Do you want me to repeat it to you?
He wasn't at the game, so I'm probably better placed to answer it anyway.
Yeah, go on. I could have watched that one on TV though, because that was allowed.
Oh, that is true, yeah. But going into that game, I was feeling quite confident because I felt like we'd been playing a little bit better, and there was like flashes. There were flashes of like it really needs to all come together. So I was like, you know what, this is going to be a good game.
Yeah, there was some good hopes there. And to be fair, for about 70 minutes, it weren't that bad.
No, it was a good game to watch. I felt we were playing pretty well. I mean, there were times when we clearly lost concentration, but it was until the end. But we did give away a penalty early on. Not that early on, but early enough to be incredibly frustrating for all of us. That needs to stop happening.
Yeah, I think it's a record number. I haven't checked this out, but someone was saying it's a record number of penalties.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy.
Chris was, fair to say, he was a tad unhappy with the 20 minutes. Do you think his reaction was fair?
I can't tell you, I don't know exactly what he said to the players or anything like that. I know that's not what you're asking me. But to be upset with that, I think that's fair because, to be honest, we made some really daft mistakes. And we've got to put our hands up and say we made some really daft mistakes. I know some people are saying that, he's the manager, it's his fault, but there's only so much he can manage to play when they're actually on the pitch, you know what I mean? That's their job.
Yeah. And he did also say at the meet and greet the other day that one of the games that we battled so well, I can't remember which one it was now, where I think when Chris Hay got sent off, he said it was the player's choice to start changing it up from what he had asked them to do. So if he's going to give them credit for that, they've got to also take responsibility if it goes the other way. Rory, stop pressing buttons.
I'm not pressing anything.
You seem to disappear every time.
I know. I've relocated now, Mike. Hopefully.
It's clearer now, I think.
Okay. So what was your hopes and expectations going into the Yeovil match, and how did the match pan out for that for you?
I don't know about you, but Yeovil seems like a long time ago.
A week ago.
Yeah, mad, isn't it? I think similar to as Sarah was saying, I think we've been playing really well, just not managing to kind of get over the line. And I really thought, we played so well for 90 minutes. I thought we really controlled the game. That was just, you could just see it coming a bit though. Watching it on TV, you could just see the kind of tide turning towards the end.
We were just...
Yeah, you could feel it coming.
Yeah. But to be fair, we always feel it coming. We were 2-0 up yesterday, and I could feel it coming. It was like 94 minutes. I was like...
I said it something, didn't I? I was like, I want to laugh. I don't want to laugh. I want to be 2-0 up.
But Rory, did you think it was... Chris's point was a bit fair, where he had a bit of a pop at the players?
Yeah, I do. I think it was kind of silly mistakes, wasn't it, for the penalty and the other goal that we conceded. They had nothing really in the game, did they, Yeovil? They were a great side. I thought we outplayed them, controlled the game. And then just, giving away stupid penalties. What penalty we were saying at the weekend? Penalty 16 or whatever it is, which is mad.
I think it's 758.
It's not like, good ones.
One of the point that Chris was quite keen to make after that particular interview was that last 20 minutes was for everyone who wants us to go long all the time. Because that's what happens when you go long, you don't keep the ball. And I thought that was quite interesting. The other point on that is Hayden was a goal machine in those 2 games. 2 and 2. What was that all about? The boy up front. Go on. But and obviously coming out of that, there was big disappointment because with the run of those 3 games, you're kind of looking at the Yeovil game and going, right, we're gonna get something out of that. We'll get the 3 points there. He did promise. Rory, we'll start with you this time, so don't press any more buttons. He did promise that going into the Halifax game, it would be better. Did he fulfil it from your perspective? Were you hoping for better? Were you a bit worried because obviously they're a playoff chasing side?
Yeah, I think that really could sense the kind of the change from the start. I think that certainly first 20 minutes that Halifax was really good, really positive, really up for it. He couldn't he? Yeah, I did wonder, kind of reflecting back on Halifax, I did wonder if we missed Jake a bit in centre midfield. You could kind of tell that in pockets of the game. But then kind of grew, I think, Hayden and Kai between them. And then definitely going into Hartlepool game, they really controlled midfield, I felt. But yeah, definitely a real change. I felt much more kind of positive players really up for it. I suppose wanting to kind of make amends from Yeovil, it felt a bit like that.
Yeah.
Did he fulfill the promise for you going into Halifax? Yes, after the Yeovil match.
100%. That was, I mean, the Yeovil match, most of the game, we didn't play badly, but it was those stupid mistakes. And as Rory said, a lot more control than the Halifax game. That's a really good point about Jake. I didn't think of that, but you're right. He kind of did leave a little hole, but they've kind of filled it. Do you know what I mean? They've kind of worked their way. It's getting used to him not being there. It's just, And I think they've really risen to the challenge because Halifax are a really good side. And I was quite impressed with them, and they played some really good football. But we managed to kind of hold our own against them, which I I'm not saying I'm surprised, but I was like assured by that things aren't bad at the moment.
Yeah, I mean that was a bit of a topsy-turvy game. We were ahead, then it was level. We were behind, then it was level. And it was oh god, are we going to take the lead? What's going to happen?
Yeah, it was a good match, I'd say.
But that's an interesting point, Sarah. I'm going to stick with you with that. We have over the years kind of done that, where it's the top teams, good informed teams. We go and we do really well. Then teams struggling at the other end of the table, where you sit and go, well, we'd expect a nice win here, and it's like, no, we didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think? I mean, these are new players. This is a new management. Why do you think, as a club, that happens, or do we only notice it when it does?
I was going to say, I think there is an element of that, Mike. If it's something like this, the Sutton thing, we're going to really notice it when it does happen. It's interesting, isn't it? And it's clearly, when that happens, it's clearly a psychological element to it. But like you said, it's different people. So how is that? I mean, I'm wondering the same thing about conceding the penalties. It's a completely different team from the start of the season. It's a different manager, but we're still conceding penalties every week. So what's that all about? So it is a really interesting one. But I think a lot of our fans don't seem to have noticed, because people will be like, oh, it's a point we should have got. We're doomed if you can't beat a team like Braintree or whoever. This is awful. This is awful. I know we've got all these hard games coming up against top sides, and we're not going to get anything out of those, are we? And I'm like, do you know what, guys? It doesn't matter where your points come from, as long as you get the points. Beating Rochdale will give us the same number of points that beating Truro gave us. Yeah. It doesn't matter who you beat.
No, and what should be happening, Rory, is you get points against Hartlepool. That should then give you the confidence to say, right, we beat the top teams, and then we go and struggle against the weaker teams. Any team in the National League can beat anyone else, because it's the Bastard League for a reason. But why do you think it seems to happen? And the reason I said it, Sarah, is because I'm pretty sure you said this before about the referees. We only remember when it goes against us. But do you think it is something that we only remember, like the new car type thing, where you don't see the car at all, and then suddenly you see it everywhere once you bought it?
Yeah, I think there is an element of that, definitely. And I think, like same, I think the league is so close, isn't it? I mean, from where we are, looking last night, it's only 3-4 points, and then all of a sudden you're kind of up to 11, 12. So I think there aren't, apart from the kind of the top 4 or 5, there aren't any standout teams. So everyone is really bunched together. So maybe it's a bit of a false premise that we're starting from, possibly on this. But I think on the Halifax game, definitely that kind of resilience came across in that game, just to keep fighting when it looked like things had kind of turned against us and we were 2-1 down. Didn't give up, kept going. Really good substitutions, which was the same against Hartlepool that Sarah and I were saying yesterday. I think really smart use of substitutes has kind of really helped us in the last half an hour of games as well.
Yeah. So then on to yesterday, your local side. Going into the game, what were you hoping for? Because obviously 1 point from the last 6. Were you thinking, we could sneak something here, or were you a bit of confidence?
Yeah, I wasn't very confident so much, because you've got Hartlepool friends and they'd just come off beating Carlisle quite considerably. And I think they were, by listening to the local radio on the way down, they were really complacent. They were kind of taking the 3 points for granted and saying, oh yeah, big game against Halifax for the weekend, but we're going to get 3 points tonight. I think I wasn't expecting, I would have definitely taken a draw. But I think they were a bit arrogant, a bit complacent, to be honest with me.
I saw one of their fans as I passed them in the street, just into the stadium, just yelled at me, "Start the shit and you'll get relegated." And I was like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. And I thought, at the end, I bet he was the one of them who left. Like there was a fire drill at 92.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously you guys were there. I was watching on TV. They weren't very complimentary about us, especially in the first half, where we seemed to be doing all right, and then giving them a good chance to go on here, take the ball from our defence. So why are Sutton doing this? I mean, they're struggling. They should be trying to get rid of it as quickly as possible. And I was like, I really hope we make them eat these words. I really, really do. I mean, Sarah, at times, obviously, watching it on TV, watching it back is slightly different. But did you feel it while we were there that we were literally just cut them to pieces at times, especially in that second half?
Yeah, I did. I was really impressed with some of the play. There were a few dodgy moments, but our defence really was brilliant. Actually, there were some moments, weren't there, Rory, with the defence that just pulled it out of nowhere. Just like, how did that not go in? Oh, we've just done another really good defensive move. Great.
They were all great, but you got to pick out Junior.
Oh yeah, he was outstanding last night.
For giving that guy a head start. As Chris said in his interview, if you gave me that much of a head start, you'd expect Junior to catch up. He goes, but that guy is fast. And he goes, how did Junior get there? I mean, that was amazing. Did you realise at the time how good that tackle was? Because it took me the second replay to kind of go, Jesus, that
I think we did, didn't we? We all went, that was an amazing tackle. I think we all picked it up at the time. So especially since for a player like Junior, you would not believe he was only 18. He's 19 now. He's still only 18. But you wouldn't believe that. He just, I'm not saying he looks old. I'm saying that the way he plays is way beyond his years. And with thinking like that, like, what just happened? How can I fix that? And that quick thinking and the strength he's got to go in there at his age is amazing.
Rory, Chris has said several times, it's ridiculous how much we rely on an 18-year-old. I mean, there was interest in him in the January window. I suspect that interest will be even more now. But what did you think? I mean, of him and that tackle particularly, and in defence overall? I know Sarah mentioned it crazy, but what did you think?
I thought they were incredible. I thought, just outstanding all night. Really, you look at it, they didn't really have that many shots on Jack's goal. Really, I think there's 3 or 4 maybe in the.
Must have that his kicking wasn't up to his usual spec.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it was a bit dodgy first half. But yeah, but Junior.
Fair, Jack has got some very dodgy glass ankles.
He did keep a clean sheet.
He did keep a clean sheet, but the poor boy can't stand up for the 90 minutes. He often has to have treatment on those really sore ankles midway through.
Oh, absolutely terrible.
That was tactical, wasn't it? That was really cleverly done. I think second half.
We didn't say that.
I suspect that will change that rule. I think in women's football they're going to be, I think 27 or 28. They're going to bring in a rule that if the goalkeeper goes down injured, another player will have to go off the pitch for 30 seconds.
Yeah, I heard that.
To allow for it. Somebody else said you don't need to do that. Much more practical solution is every time a player's injured, all the players got to go into the centre circle. Then they can't come across to have a chat with the managers. That's it. Just all go into the centre circle. That's it. It will stop everyone doing it because you can imagine Jack Sims and Brucey moaning at someone that they have to run up to the centre circle every time someone's injured. Stop doing it. But Ozzy scored his first goal for us, Sarah. What did you think of that? At first I thought it was a great header, then I thought, oh no, it wasn't. He somehow managed to get his foot up higher than his head. But what did you think of his goal?
To be honest, I'm going to have to be very honest about that. It was a goal, I just went mental. It wasn't, I'm sure we'll talk about the other goal in a minute, but it wasn't like that. It was just, he scored, I'm happy, basically.
You saw me take the tea in before you went out. I'm going to drop it now, just spit it out.
You're lucky I'm not me.
Rory, what were you feeling on that first goal? And did you look at it or did you watch it back?
Yeah, it was bad. I thought the two of them up front played really well off each other. I thought, real handful all night. It was a bit of a surreal goal, really. It kind of happened in a bit of a flash. I think it was from the corner, and then it came from nowhere at the back post. But it was really good, really good. And just back on, I thought Eccleston was outstanding all night. I think the importance of that tackle was right before half time, wasn't it? That changes the game. If he doesn't make that, or if he concedes the penalty, or if he gets sent off, that changes the whole thing. But I think that gave us the lift before half time as well. And then the goal amazing.
Because it could have gone the other way, couldn't it? It could have been another penalty.
Yeah, it's really easily.
Well, in that situation, you can see why a player might go, I'm going to have to take him out.
Yeah.
That's not like a penalty where we've given them away going, what are you doing? He was going nowhere.
Yeah.
That one you can kind of, we had no choice there. But you mentioned the corner, for the Aussie's goal was a good AFC connection. And then, but I'm not sure if Kai just ran out of energy, because we were passing the ball around, popping it here, there, and everywhere, and he got it and just went, I can't be asked to run anymore. He just lashed it in, Sarah. What did you think of that goal? Did you think to miss it?
That was a fantastic strike. Absolutely fantastic. Like, that was a really clean goal. Just, I'm sure it was his plan all along. Like, his plan, I'm sure. I'm going to score a fantastic goal tonight. That was it. Yeah, it was wonderful.
If I knew him better, I'd be saying he shinned it, but that's not fair. I don't know him that well. Rory, what did you think of that goal? Say, like, build up to it, popping it around, nice, short, lovely passings, and then just bang.
Oh, I think it's becoming part of our game, because it wasn't dissimilar to Lewis's goal against Halifax, playing some lovely football, teeing it up, laying it off to someone, just picks a spot, albeit it was a lot further out. I didn't realise till watching it back just how far out he was. But yeah, that put the icing on the cake. I think we were a bit worried after Brandon missed that opportunity a bit before. We thought, oh God.
I love it.
Well, yeah, me too. I thought he was really good last night.
He had a great day.
It did.
What is great about that is he moves on. He's not someone who'll sit and dwell on that. He's just, okay, that's gone.
That's true.
I loved it when he did the one 4 weeks ago where he fell over his own feet because like his body was moving and his legs didn't catch up. And he was quite happy to talk about it and take a mick in the interview. I was like, I really like that. I really do like that. That's good. Aaron did warn him. He was mentioning it. He was like, yeah, go.
I think about Brandon. I think he's really gone from strength to strength since he joined us.
Yeah.
Because I've always said since I first saw him play for us, I thought this guy's got real potential. I like the look of him right from the start, but he does kind of do that quite a lot where his finishing just isn't quite there. But from what I'm seeing him improving week on week almost, and I feel like he's got potential there. And if he could like, you know, do that finishing, he would be playing for Sutton.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's got 7 now, I heard, which in the realms of our season isn't that bad. So, yeah, if he can improve his finishing, but as you say, he wouldn't be here. If he was a foot taller, he wouldn't be here because he'd be holding the ball up somewhere else. But some AFC fans were like, oh, you're welcome, by the way. You haven't thanked us yet. Well, you haven't thanked us for Aaron Pierre, so...
Still spent my time on the way back from Halifax, so Mansfield. I was pulled into a service station, and the parking spots in that one were really, really narrow. And the people came back to the car next to it, and they were struggling to get back in. So I said, "Oh, do you want me to pull out?" And I said, "Yeah." And I looked at them a bit more closely, and they were wearing all the AFC Wimbledon stuff. And I'm like, I don't normally help Wimbledon fans, and I had my Sutton shirt on and everything. This was like Leicester or something like that. But it turned out that they knew someone who was good friends with Ashley Nadesan, so I let them know.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Now, I wrote this down, and you've kind of stolen my point a little bit, Sarah. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, sorry.
I said, over the 3 games, we probably would have taken 4 points beforehand. You probably would have said, we'll get 3 points at Yeovil, and we'll nick a point elsewhere. So over the 3 games, is 4 points fair and slightly above, because they're long, tricky away games.
Yeah.
I know it's one of those things you could never take it in advance, but would you have taken that in advance, Sarah?
I'd have liked 5 points since seems to be getting better and better. But yeah, to be fair, I wouldn't have expected anything at Hartlepool when we got all 3. So yeah, I reckon I'd have taken 4 for the 3 games.
Rory?
Yeah, totally. I would have done as well. I think maybe looking back, given how well we played across the 3, I think we probably deserved more.
You deserve it, points, didn't you?
Yeah.
All 9. But...
Yeah, well, I think there's an argument for that, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's no fair. Each individual game, it wouldn't have been unfair if we'd taken all 3 points.
Right.
I think. I feel like it's a bit greedy to say we deserve 9 points in 3 games, but at the same time, there's no reason in the way that we played where we wouldn't have deserved that. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, none of them was a smash and grab for us. I mean, Yeovil was definitely a smash and grab for them, where we switched off, and they must have been delighted.
It was entirely our fault, though. So
Yeah. No, of course. Exactly. But that leaves us now 6 points clear with 11 to go. I wrote this down very quickly, so I hope it's right. Rory, are we still looking backwards, or are you saying, only 3 or 4 more points and we're up, getting towards the top 10? Are you looking forwards?
Yeah, definitely
Upwards.
looking forward. Definitely looking upwards, Mike. I think given the way we played, the kind of resilience that we've shown on the back of Yeovil, the result yesterday, I think we should be looking up. Definitely, particularly, and like we said before, you can never take it for granted, can you? Particularly with the teams down the bottom, but given the fixtures, definitely think we should be looking up. Players on form, people coming back. Yeah, I think we should be looking up.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a couple of teams below us. I think one team we've got a game in hand in us, but they're not in the relegation zone. So those 6 points of teams have played the same number of games as us. What about yourself, Sarah? Are you still kind of looking below, or are you just like, nope, the only way is up, like the ads?
you say still, but I'm someone who always looks up the table. I'm never one of these people saying, "Oh, we're going down, we're going down. We have to do better, or we'll be in trouble." I'm never. I try never to have that attitude. I always look and see, right, how high can we get if we win the next game? You know, how much further can we climb up the table in the next few? You know, I'm always like that. I mean, it does mean I get disappointed more often, but I don't be like that. I'm one of the people who's just constantly moaning about relegation.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you both said that, because there's 33 points to play for, and we are only 14 behind the playoff spot.
Hey.
Late run.
The problem with that, Mike, is it's not possible that teams above us to lose all their games because they're playing each other.
Yeah, but they're playing teams below us and above as well, so we don't need them all to win or lose all the games. Just enough. But what annoys me, and I'm going to be honest, is where we were in November, I was saying, we're only 17 points away. And people were laughing, and then we had an awful December and an awful January, and suddenly we're still only 14 points away. And I'm like, God's sake, if we just played better in those matches. Sure, Chris is saying the same. But, Rory, we'll start with you. I won't be at the game on Saturday. I'm sure you won't either. But Morecambe at home. There's a reason we're starting with you. What do you think about that game? Do you think, I mean, they've had a bit of an odd season. They'll get battered, and then suddenly they'll hand out a battering. So how are you feeling about that game, and kind of where do you see it that we have to do, or is it just another game?
I think we need to look at it as just another game, don't we? Just carry on what we've been doing for the past 2/3 games, and just go into it with that kind of positive mindset. I think if we start thinking, this is definitely just an easier game for us, I think that's when we'll get stuck into a typical kind of Sutton thing. But yeah, I think given particular strikers on form, midfielders playing really well. I thought Donkor was really good last night as well. Well, I think everyone was, really.
I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, I know Chris called it out, didn't he? What his job is.
I mean, a lot of people were raving about him in the first couple of games, and I'm like, okay, I can see he's quick, but I wasn't overly sure about positioning and stuff. But last night he was absolutely amazing. I mean, they all were. You can't really go, anyone was awful. But I have to say, Saturday is not just another game. Is it, Sarah? It's a very important match.
Very important match. Although a lot of the important stuff is off the pitch. But hopefully it will translate to on the pitch. We'll get a really good atmosphere up. So Saturday is our annual Her Game 2 dedicated men's fixture. So you'll see me and Lucy and Emma around the ground, basically flying the flag for the campaign. And for anyone who doesn't know, Her Game 2 is a campaign that works to basically try and get rid of sexism in sport. particularly football when it started, also other sports like cricket and ice hockey now. And there is still quite a lot of sexism. There are still a lot of women, like over 90% of women in the survey had said that they had experienced sexism at a football match or online harassment about being female football fans. So the idea of having a dedicated fixture is just to sort of increase the visibility of the campaign around our ground, to show that we support the cause, gives a really strong message to people that sexism isn't tolerated at Sutton, we're not that kind of club. Also gives a strong message to women and girls who might firstly, those who might be reluctant to go to football matches, there are quite a lot of women and girls who haven't been to football because they're worried about what the crowd will be like. But also to those who are there, it says to them, if anything does happen, we're here for you. So anyone who's concerned about anything to do with if they hear any sexist chanting or get sort of any kind of harassment again because they're women or girls, then they can, they're very welcome to come to me and talk to me about it. I'm the main link person between the club and the campaign. So that's what we're doing on Saturday. That's what we're celebrating. It's the tie-in with International Women's Day, which is on Sunday.
Absolutely. I do that as well. It's an important campaign. I'm going to put a little plug my other podcast that I do, Moment Echo. I've got a great interview with Kaz, who is the founder, or one of the founders of Her Game 2 as well.
She speaks very well, so that'd be great. I can't wait to listen to that.
It's going to be a great day. I'm a little bit gutted because I'm sorting out everyone's council tax bills on Saturday, so
Lucky you.
everyone can hate me twice.
Sorry, I meant to mention as well that this is the men's dedicated fixture. We also, the women have one against Brentford on Sunday the 22nd.
Yes,
that's the VBS as well.
Absolutely, that's at Sutton as well. So want to be proud for that anyway. So that'll be a good one. Come and support on Saturday. It's made Sarah out of a job, really. Let's not need Her Game 2 stuff. It's just like, we don't need it, son. But it's always going to be around. It's annoying, but it's one of those things. But yes, we're going to wrap up this episode of the Sutton Podcast. As always, appreciate everyone's ear, attention, and feedback. Follow, like, share, give us the thumbs up on YouTube. Look, my thumb. All social medias at Sutton Podcast. Give us a hello, tell us what you like, what you don't like. And a big thank you to our sponsors, Lucky Star Gin. Big thank you for Rory and Sarah. We got our stars aligned with the childcare and everything and different responsibilities. Thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed listening to this podcast. Thank you to for listening, and take care, and we'll catch up soon. Bye-bye.
United! 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 United!